Imagine a country where nothing happens by accident, a place where centuries of chaos, wars, divisions, and reunifications have finally given way to strict control. This is China today. One party, one leader, one goal, to make sure nothing is left to chance, no surprises slip through. Power moves with purpose, decisions are calculated, and the direction of the nation is planned in detail. To understand China, you cannot just look at headlines or surface events. You need to trace the paths of influence, see who really makes the decisions, and understand how the lives of millions are shaped by forces most outsiders never notice. Today, we will follow that map. We will uncover how China works, how it controls its people, how it decides its next moves, and how it interacts with the world. How can a country stretch 4,000 miles, span 5 time zones, and still move as one? China runs on a single rhythm, Beijing time. From this capital, the Chinese Communist Party, the CCP, directs nearly every aspect of life. It is the country's center of gravity, the symbolic heart of a civilization that calls itself the Middle Kingdom. And Middle Kingdom is more than geography. In Chinese, the words carry weight, signaling supreme importance. The sense that everything revolves around this center. At the very pinnacle sits one individual, wielding near total control over a nation of over 1 billion people. After the Second World War, China was plunged into civil war once more. 4 years later, the CCP emerged victorious, sending its rivals fleeing to Taiwan. This division set the stage for decades of tension. Taiwan's fledgling democracy on one side, mainland China's authoritarian regime under Mao Zedong on the other. Mao ruled with absolute power. Loyalty was demanded, dissent crushed, and public displays of obedience were rewarded. Policy failures and catastrophic famines claimed tens of millions of lives, a stark testament to what centralized, unquestioned authority could achieve and destroy. After Mao's death, the party imposed term limits. Leaders could serve only 2 5-year terms, but Xi Jinping, born into a politically entrenched family, steadily rose through the ranks to become China's most dominant figure. By 2018, he removed term limits altogether. Today, China's direction is no longer left to chance. From factories to banks, from the movement of goods to the daily lives of its citizens, every decision flows from the very top, measured, calculated, and enforced with precision. The pulse of the nation beats in unison, guided by a hand that leaves nothing to randomness. China runs its economy differently than most of the world. Many of its largest companies are not private enterprises. They are state-owned, fully aligned with the CCP's goals. Oil, steel, banking, defense, agriculture, all under party guidance. Imagine if the U.S. government owned Exxon, Lockheed, and J.P. Morgan Chase, controlling loans, contracts, and market dominance. That is the Chinese model. Under Mao, state control was total. Liberalization in the late 20th century loosened that grip, but under Xi, the state sector has grown again, now accounting for over 60% of major industries. Of China's $16 trillion stock market, nearly $9 trillion comes from listed state-owned companies, with additional unlisted assets under CCP influence. This control allows China to pick winners strategically. When the government identifies a key sector, it aligns banks, factories, and supply chains to ensure success. Take solar energy. State banks provide cheap loans, state companies get priority resources, and Chinese panels undercut global competitors by 8 to 10%. This isn't mere innovation. It's a structural advantage. Shipbuilding, EVS, batteries, steel, advanced tech. The same playbook applies. Industries the CCP prioritizes thrive, others struggle. All this control depends on people, and China has mastered population management. Birthplace has long dictated opportunity through the Hukou system, an internal registration system functioning like a domestic passport, where you can live, work, access education, or healthcare, all depends on Hukou status. Without it, life is constrained and opportunities are scarce. In the 1980s, the CCP created special economic zones. Shenzhen, once a village of 30,000, became a magnet for industry and migration. Today it is home to 18 million, a growth fueled not by force, but by incentives like jobs, housing, and opportunity. Yet freedom is tightly controlled. The Great Firewall, built in 1998, isolates Chinese internet users from global platforms. Political dissent, critical commentary, or content challenging CCP narratives is censored. Even China's most influential figures are not exempt. Jack Ma's public criticism of China's banking system in 2021 led to the halting of his IPO and a 3-month disappearance. Influence itself is regulated, sending a clear message. Control extends beyond economics to ideas and reputation. China engages globally in a selective, strategic way, shaped by history. In the 1700s, the Canton system restricted foreign trade to a single port. The Opium Wars shattered this system and left a lasting mark. Humiliation became lesson. Control interaction, protect sovereignty. Today, China is not isolated by choice alone. Resources like farmland, oil, rare earths, and advanced tech require foreign engagement. But interaction is carefully calibrated, allowing knowledge and investment without losing authority. Tesla's Shanghai factory is illustrative. Allowed full ownership, Tesla became a catalyst, pushing domestic EV companies to innovate while strengthening supply chains. The CCP allowed exposure, but under controlled terms. From people to industry, from ideas to selective foreign partnerships, China exemplifies centralized governance at massive scale. The system is top-down, deliberate, and strict. History shows similar models often fail. The Soviet Union, Imperial Japan, and other regimes collapsed under internal strain. Yet China continues to maintain economic growth, social stability, and global influence, all without adopting Western political norms. Critics argue China is always fragile. Financial crises, aging population, or social unrest could topple it. Unlike democracies with electoral pressure valves, China relies on meticulous control of every variable. Outcomes are uncertain, but the CCP's ability to maintain direction is unmatched. And there you have it, a glimpse into how China works in broad strokes. A country where top-down control dictates what gets made, where people can move, and which ideas and technologies are allowed inside its borders. History is littered with attempts at this kind of centralized power, from the Soviet Union to Imperial Japan, and most of them failed spectacularly. Yet China so far has rewritten the rules. The odds might be stacked against it, but as Leland Miller reminds us, China is not on the brink of collapse like so many have predicted over the past 5 years. Its non-commercial, state-driven system doesn't play by Western rules, and that makes it resilient in ways few outsiders understand. The question isn't whether China can survive, it's how it will shape the world in the years to come, and whether the rest of us are ready to read the map instead of the puzzle. And don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more compelling stories and insights from the world of geopolitics, global power, and international strategy.